Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm going to do a quick one today. We're in bug soup season, so one of the more effective patterns to have in your fly box is some sort of a rusty spinner. I like to sink some of mine, so I'm going to show you a version that I like to tie and fish that uses basically a gathered parachute hackle to make a spent wing out of it and some foam. So we're going to start this off with you're going to tie this in a 12, but you can tie this in a pile of sizes. This is an Eric's 501 dry fly barbless hook in the vise. I've got some A-dot rusty brown Vivus thread here. I'm just going to lay a thread base right to the bend. As you see here, trim it off. You can tie your spinner tails in a pile of different ways. Some of the bigger bugs, they might have like 3 split tails. I suggest you tie a few different configurations based on the bugs you have, but for this particular spinner that I'm going to do today, it's a general pattern, so I'm just going to use a straight tail. It's just some microfibers. I want the tails to be longer, about 1.5 times the length of the hook shank. So take 1 gathering wrap, 2 gathering wraps, work your thread right down the shank. You see here, back to about there. Because I want this fly to kind of sink a little bit, I'm going to actually dub the body on it. And I like mine extremely thin, like you see here. I don't like that. There we go. Less is more on these. Alright, that puts me at a point, I don't know, about 1/3 of the way back, as you'll see here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to use a 1/16 parachute post. Whatever color you want to use works. I typically like to do something bright that I can see. But I'm going to leave this post kind of long off the back. I'll take 1 turn, and I'm just going to lightly bind this down to where I want my parachute to start. Hence my thread in front. As you can see here, kind of pulled some of this back. And then I'm going to take and do some light thread wraps right around the base of that post. 1 in front. That just gives me something that I can lash my parachute post hackle to. Before I go any further, I'm going to spin a little bit more dubbing on there, just so I can cover up those thread wraps back here really easily. Then I'm going to take my hackle curved side up. I've already pre-cut some of it. Lash that down in front of that post. Pull it straight up. I'm going to take a few wraps right around it. What you'll find when you're tying with this foam post material, you got to be very careful because sometimes they get brittle and you can very easily cut them off with your tying thread. You see here. Take a little bit more dubbing. Probably do 1 route there if you want. Once you've gotten that in place, it's kind of what it's going to look like. Then you're going to take Hackle. Run like 3 or 4 turns right around that post. Pull that fiber, those barbs off from there. 1, 2, 3. 3. Trim it off. Now the next thing you want to do, ideally, if you can, is you want to try and trim that post as close to that as you possibly can without snipping it off. And then you're going to want to take your fingers and you're going to want to gather up all those fibers together on either side. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll wet my fingers because it'll make it easier so that you can just pull that foam cylinder right over the top. Take 1 loose turn, 2 loose turns, 3. Couple more. 1 right in front. Half inch if you have to. If you got any loose fibers that are in there, you can cut them right out now. Cut your post off. Whip finish. Put a little bit of head cement on there. UV resin. Whatever works for you on the thread wraps. There's your gathered parachute Hackle spent wing. If you've got any fibers in there that you don't like which way they're going, you can kind of cut them out. That's kind of how that thing looks. Very, very simple fly. That's it. Real easy one to tie. Once you get the hang of them, you can really turn these things out. Hope you like it. Next month I got some fun stuff for you. Good luck fishing out there.